Right, but without Golden Boy, that's what I'm telling you. Without Golden Boy, you wouldn't have this social media presence at all.
Yes, the times have changed. When you're at a certain point where everybody knows you, they would watch my fights if they were on the zone. Ryan Garcia versus anybody on the zone, you know.
If you weren't signed with Golden Boy, you wouldn't have that platform this far. Right.
No, before you
didn't have that platform.
But now
before,
I do.
when you first signed,
but now
because of Golden Boy signed you.
But now
that's
I do.
What I'm trying to explain
but now
to
I
you.
do.
So you're not merited for a main event yet. You understand?
So you don't think he's a main event
He's
fighter?
not a main event fighter.
I'm gonna show him I'm a main event fighter.
He can sell tickets. He can sell tickets, absolutely.
Selling tickets and being a main event fighter are
two different things, absolutely.
Why is he not a main event guy?
Because he's not fighting main event opposition. He's got to prove himself to get to the next level. You fight a main event opposition on a co-main event, and then you get your shot.
Hey, well, you have your opinion, I have mine.
It's not opinion, it's facts.
Yeah, well, that's what you think.
You won a bunch of money, but you agreed to a certain contract, and then you see, oh, damn, y'all made all this money off me?
Man, oh man, it is just amazing to me how it seems like things just changed overnight for Ryan Garcia. Ever since he turned down that clip that you guys just watched, that was the Rings version of Face Off. That was Avery Sparrow talking to Ryan Garcia to promote the fight they were supposed to have before, of course, Avery Sparrow got arrested for a warrant that he had. Now, this was really interesting because I know Ryan Garcia was caught off guard to hear his opponent actually talk about the rift that Ryan Garcia is having with Golden Boy. Once again, Ryan Garcia, he was supposed to fight Romero Duno because that was a tough opponent, and this was going to be Ryan Garcia's first step up in competition. Ryan Garcia turned the fight down. He offered to fight the guy that Romero lost to in his last fight and said then he would possibly fight Duno in the very next fight, but he wanted it to be a main event. He said he was the one that was selling tickets. He said he didn't think that he should be fighting someone like a Duno on a Jaime Munguia undercard. So Ryan Garcia, he turned down Romero Duno, but he agreed to fight Avery Sparrow. And as you guys just heard, Avery, he pretty much agrees with everything that Golden Boy is saying. Avery believes in order for Ryan Garcia to transition over into star status, he has to step up in competition. He has to beat better competition. And then he could start demanding things like being in the main event, etc., etc., etc. Now, you heard Ryan Garcia say to Avery in that piece that everyone knows him. But Oscar De La Hoya doesn't believe that because Oscar De La Hoya just recently said Ryan Garcia, he has to understand, he has 3 million followers on Instagram, but it hasn't transcended over to boxing. Oscar De La Hoya believes that maybe if Ryan Garcia gets a title shot, that would help him become a superstar in the sport of boxing. In other words, Ryan is going to have to face tough competition. Ryan Garcia, he says he's ready to fight the best, but taking that Romero Duno fight on that short notice to save that card because Avery couldn't make the fight, that would have really showed that Ryan is willing to do whatever it takes to fight the best opponents. Because then I believe if Ryan would have beat Duno, especially under those circumstances, last minute, all of that, then it would have made sense, or made more sense for Ryan Garcia to demand more money or demand whatever it is he's asking for. But you have to prove that you have the goods before you start to make these demands. Now, clearly Ryan Garcia is a good prospect, but the question is he the real deal? Like Oscar De La Hoya said. This is what really pissed off Ryan Garcia, because Oscar was asked, is Ryan Garcia the best young fighter? And Oscar De La Hoya said no. He said maybe next to Virgil Ortiz. He said now Virgil Ortiz is the real deal. But keep in mind, the reason why he's saying Ortiz is the real deal, because Ortiz has already stepped up in competition. He's already faced the Mauricio Herreras and knocked him out. Did something to Herrera that not too many fighters could say they did to him. See, the thing is, you have a lot of fighters today, they think that they could become superstars without facing anyone. You know, when you look at a Floyd Mayweather, for example, people forget, or maybe they didn't watch his whole career, but Floyd Mayweather, before he became a superstar, Floyd Mayweather was one of the most avoided fighters in the sport of boxing. It's hard for people to imagine that now, But people forget Floyd moved up 5 weight classes. When he was fighting in his natural weight class, he was looked at like a Terrence Crawford or an Errol Spence, where no one wanted to fight him. And Shane Mosley wasn't just calling out like the Romero Dunos. No, he was calling out the undefeated Shane Mosley, the undefeated Acelino Popo Freitas, the undefeated Joel Casamayor, the undefeated Nassim Hamed. And none of these guys wanted to fight Floyd. Floyd wanted to fight Costa Tszyu, but Costa Tszyu ended up losing to Ricky Hatton. That's when Floyd ended up knocking out Ricky Hatton. So my point is, fighters like Floyd Mayweather, he had to pay the cost to be the boss. And if Ryan wants to be a star, he's going to have to pay the cost as well. And that means getting in the ring and beating tough opponents. That's the only way you're going to be a superstar. I mean, you can look like a superstar, you can act like a superstar. But most importantly, you have to perform like a superstar. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
External rotation of the shoulder, then back in.